Reporter Peep would like you to like this video and subscribe or he will make a TV commentary on you. The captive orca Tilikum looking at its trainers. There have only been 4 human deaths caused by orcas as of 2019. And Tilikum was responsible for 3 of them. Sunflower room at the Van Gogh Live Art Exhibition. In 2006, a man in Portland, Oregon hired a hitman to kill his 51-year-old wife, Susan Kunhausen. She ended up killing the hitman with her bare hands. When she had her hands on his neck, she asked him, "Tell me who sent you here, and I will call you a ducking ambulance." Cremation ceremony held today for a Bengal tiger in Pench Tiger Reserve, India. Affectionately called Kalawili by locals, she raised a total of 25 cubs during her lifetime. In 1985, the infamous Action Park in New Jersey built this water slide with a ducking loop at the end. It was only open for 1 month before shutting down due to many injuries. I'm a female and have a beard from a medical condition, PCOS. I've lived with this since I was 17. I turn 34 next week and I'm finally able to get my beard removed. Here's hair removal progress with 56 hours of electrolysis so far. April 2021, November 2021, January 2022. These sand sculptures formed by strong winds eroding frozen sand. Immigrant family arriving to Ellis Island, New York in 1904. Ulm, a city in Germany, has made these thermally insulated pods for homeless people to sleep. These units are known as Ulmer Nest. Saturn setting behind a mountain. These were some of the members of the Ku Klux Kidders. It was a youth group run by the Clay. This image is an important reminder that shit like this always starts at home. Car manufacturer Tatra explaining aerodynamics, 1930, in a simple way for anyone to understand. Sniper's nest at the stadium. The White House was completely gutted and rebuilt between 1948 to 1952. This building looks like it was designed in Microsoft Word. An old anti-MLK political cartoon. I plan to lead another non-violent march tomorrow. Martin Luther King. 16 stories below Midtown Manhattan. 2 months ago, I broke every bone in my face. This is an MRI showing the result of my facial reconstruction surgery. The blue rods/circles are 3D printed plates molded and inserted to return my facial skeletal structure to almost exactly what it was before the incident. Modern medicine is amazing. An old home-style bar in Italy from 1960. Charlotte Garside will never grow taller than 2 feet and has a condition so rare there isn't a name for it. Doctors say she won't grow more than 2 feet tall. Pixar from 2012/2013. This crystal I grew looks like a green rupee. It's called potassium ferrioxalate and it took a month to grow. Anatolian sheepdog after protecting its herd from a wolf attack. Women only parking in Germany. About 7% of Lent crimes against women occur in parking garages, and this is an attempt to make parking safer for women. Juan Catalan was put on death row and spent nearly 6 months in jail for the murder of a teenage girl until his lawyer found unused footage from HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm that proved he'd been at a Dodgers game with his 6-year-old daughter on the night of the murder. The Ten Sword Library is a massive Minecraft map where anyone can read 10 sword journalism from countries without freedom of press. In the 90s, Harold Burgess built the world's largest treehouse in Crossville, Tennessee. He claimed God told him to build it, and it took 12 years to complete. The 97-foot tall structure had 5 stories, 80 rooms, classrooms, kitchens and bedrooms. In 2019 the whole thing burned down in 15 minutes. Container ship handling training at Port Revel, France. I took a picture of matchstick igniting by the friction surface of the box. Without knowing what the consequences would be, Dr. Werner Frossman fed a catheter into an artery in his arm and on into his heart. He then hastily walked up to another floor in the building to get an X-ray as proof. This procedure eventually revolutionized heart surgery. Queen Jenipal was the last queen of Mongolia. She was executed in May 1938, shot by Russian troops as part of the Stalinist repressions in Mongolia. The Star Wars character, Queen Amidala, took inspiration from her. Ukrainian Special Forces with GPNV G18 quad-lens night vision goggles. Real-life Chernobyl liquidators, who drained the pool of water under the failed nuclear reactor core, preventing the possible catastrophic steam explosion. Hong Kong landscape carved into duct tape by Takahiro Iwasaki. Mechanism utilized in 1967 to cryo-freeze James Bedford, born 1893, the first cryopreserved human being in history with the specific intention of being able to revive and awaken him sometime in the future. American kestrel is the smallest and most common falcon in North America. It is also called the sparrowhawk. My front door after a SWAT raid in Canada. The Paramount Pictures logo on the day it was originally painted 1965. Roselle, guide dog of Michael Hinkson, who is blind by birth, led him and a group of people from 78th floor of North Tower on night 11. Roselle, who was even afraid of thunder, led them more than 1,463 steps down to safety amidst ear-splitting noise and crashing debris, calmly doing her job. A patient experiencing claustrophobia and having a panic attack during a CT scan. In the 1950s, Idaho sheep kept giving birth to one-eyed lambs. This condition, called cyclopia, was later discovered to be caused by cyclopamine, a poison found in corn lily, Veratrum californicum, that interrupts the sonic hedgehog signaling pathway during development. 14,600,000 bolivars, the amount of money you need to buy a 5-pound chicken in Venezuela. To remove a potentially cancerous birthmark, this woman had 4 balloons implanted in her face to expand the skin. The reason for this procedure is once the birthmark is removed, she needs facial tissue to replace it. During surgery, doctors will graft this extra tissue onto her face. My friend fell off of a 20-foot wall a few years ago and these were the images of his skull. He survived but is a changed person. Woman kneeling next to bed of child in an underground tunnel during the bombing of London, World War II, January 1945. This seemingly fun and lively photo of 2 brothers, Michael and Sean McQuilkin, was taken at Morro Rock in California's Sequoia National Park on August 20, 1975. The photograph was captured by their sister Mary just seconds before they were struck by lightning. One of the brothers later recalled, 150-year-old corner piano. Found an island called Inaccessible Island on Google Earth. Another side of Mount Fuji in winter. Monorails in Japan. A maximum security prison cell, Denmark. Whittier, Alaska. The whole town lives in this building. It's their city, their grocery store, gym, police station, post office, school, mayor's office, etc. is also in this building. It is 60 miles from where I live. You can only get there by sea or a one-way tunnel. At night the tunnel is closed. Topography of USA. When Euro bills were designed, the bridges were intentionally designed to not represent any real ones. Later a Dutch dude decides to build them over a local waterway in Dutch town of Spijkenis. A Libyan soldier fires a rocket launcher at ICE while wearing a Kobe Bryant jersey. Cabot .45 M1911 pistols machined from the 4 billion year old Gibeon meteorite. Engineers utilized a combination of X-ray photography, 3D modeling, CAD/CAM design, aerospace construction techniques and electron beam technology to create them. Cost for the pair $4.5 million. This is Mimas, one of the moons of Saturn. And no, it's not the Death Star. Albert Einstein teaching at Lincoln, the United States' first historical black university, 1946. I revisited U2's Joshua Tree photo location. The tree has died. 1987. 2022. During the winter here in Florida, manatees converge at various power plants where the off-shooting water heats the waters around it to be 5 to 10 degrees warmer. This small difference often saves the lives of hundreds of manatees. This is the St. Wilfridus Church in Bedum, Netherlands, nearby where I live. It is leaning more than the Leaning Tower of Pisa, yet almost no one knows about it. A black US soldier reads a message left by the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War. The message reads, US Nero Armymen, you are committing the same ignominious crimes in South Vietnam that the Clay clique is perpetrating against your family at home. 1970. Ordinary objects used to create a miniature world. Henry Barons, the smallest man in the world, dances with his pet cat in the doorway of his Worthing home. 1956. Lewis Hine photographs of child labor in early 20th century US. He was instrumental in passage of first US child labor law. The Koppel's effect. In desert conditions, helicopter rotors are sometimes surrounded by sparkling rings. When flying sand strikes the abrasion stripes on the leading edges of the blades, clouds of eroded titanium particles ignite as they are exposed to oxygen. Double amputee railway signalman James White, with his pet and assistant, Jack Baboon, who was trained to push James' wheelchair and operate the signals under supervision. Cape Town, 1880s. After the breakup of the USSR, the Lithuanian basketball team couldn't afford to participate in the 1992 Olympics, so the Grateful Dead funded the team's expenses and sent a box of tie-dyed outfits in Lithuania's national colors. They went on to win bronze. Mammoth-sized trees in the Sequoia National Forest. This 2,000-year-old skull of a Peruvian warrior was found to have been fused together with metal in one of the world's oldest examples of advanced surgery, with the man surviving the procedure. CIA revealed a heart attack gun in 1975. A battery-operated gun which fired a dart of frozen water and shellfish toxin. Once inside the body it would melt, leaving only a small red mark on the victim where it entered. The official cause of death would always be a heart attack. A giant African snail, which can grow to be 30 centimeters in length. They feed on more than 500 types of plants, including peanuts, beans, peas, cucumbers, and melons. Dense, opaque, blood-tinged fluid recovered from lungs of a patient with severe COVID-19. Mexican-born installation artist Gabriel Dor produces rainbow installations that appear as refracted light beams, ethereal works composed of thousands of multicolor threads. When the sun is directly overhead, it creates a subsolar point and certain objects looks like you've put the low setting on a video game. Greek frosty tooths would advertise via their shoes which would say follow me, and that would be imprinted in the sand. American troops on board a landing craft heading for the beaches at Oran in Algeria during Operation Torch, November 1942. Fractal Cotilou by me, made from thousands of tiny detailed interwoven fractals. Large zoomable image. Rock shaped by the waves. An example of the effect of the Earth's curvature. 3 ships at different distances from the viewer. The farthest one appears half sunk beneath the ocean. Overseas Yellowstone. 7.7 nautical miles. Energy Panther. 6.5 nautical miles. Huna Giant Spirit. 9.9 nautical miles. The dark side of the moon captured in full sunlight, courtesy of a NASA camera aboard the Deep Space Climate Observatory. When red pandas feel threatened, they stand up and extend their claws to look bigger and more intimidating. In 2020, complete lockdown happened in India due to Cupid. The air pollution level went so low that Himalayas were visible in certain areas of northern India or even from a distance of more than 200 kilometers. Tricycle of 3-year-old boy named Chin, who died 1,500 meters from the hypocenter of Hiroshima atomic bombing 1945. Tomb carved from a single rock almost 2,000 years ago in Saudi Arabia. Hercules is the largest living cat according to the Guinness Book of Records. He weighs nearly 1,000 pounds and 11 feet long. He is this big because he is a liger, a combination of male lion and female tiger. This combination causes immense growth, but Hercules is the biggest in the world. The Interlace apartment complex in Singapore was designed to give every home a view of the surrounding parkland. Vatican City's Armory. The sun viewed in ultraviolet light. This extraordinary hands bridge in Vietnam. There is AI software to turn old blurry facial images into more defined photographs. Here is Billy the Kid. The baby who was born twice. Surgeon Dr. Aluang Karalotoy and Dr. Daryl Cass removed a baby out of her womb at 23 weeks old. Successfully operated on the baby after taking out a tumor, then placed the baby back into the mom's womb. The baby was later delivered healthy and on time at 36 weeks. This animal called Hydra vulgaris is one of the few theoretically immortal beings on our planet. Spanish fighter jets have a false cockpit painted on the underside to confuse opponents in a dogfight. 2 men lifting the preserved carcass of a baby mammoth from where it was accidentally unearthed from the permafrost by a miner's bulldozer in Siberia in 1977. Named Dima after a nearby stream, he died at age 6 to 8 months around 40,000 years ago. Traces of his mother's milk remained in his stomach. A clouded leopard which can be spotted in the Southeast Asia and Himalayas. The Poison Garden, Alnwick Garden, contains about 100 plants that can actually kill a person. Japanese bullet train system is equipped with a network of sensitive seismometers. On March 11, 2011, one of the seismometers detected an 8.9 magnitude earthquake 12 seconds before it hit and sent a stop signal to 33 trains. As a result, only one bullet train derailed that day. The United States $1 bill, 99 years apart. Australian city uses drainage nets to stop waste from polluting waterways. Carol Akeley was attacked by this leopard and he killed it with his bare hands in 1896. To prevent word from leaking that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father, the scene was recorded with the line "Obi-Wan killed your father," then dubbed over in post-production. Only director Ivan Kershner, writer George Lucas, and lead actor Mark Hamill knew the truth prior to the film's release. What 14 inches of snow looks like from space. This is no dead fish. A whale carcass dwarfs several grizzly bears that are feasting on it. Eternal Reefs, a company based in Florida, specializes in mixing the cremated remains of a person with concrete in order to create a pearl under which loved ones can etch personal messages, handprints or mementos. The pearl is then encased in a reef ball that will later be dropped into the sea. This is world's smallest artificial heart. It saved the life of a 16-month-old baby until the donor heart became available. Meet Narnia, a rare two-faced cat. This blue-eyed kitten's face was precisely divided into two halves, a grey half and a black half, and everyone was surprised when they first saw him. Photographed pencil. After its restoration, Big Ben emerges from scaffolding a completely different color. The 11.5-ton clock mechanism was removed from the 96-meter-high Victorian Tower, and all 1,000 pieces were meticulously cleaned and repaired. The largest meteorite on Earth is this 60 tons monster, named Hoba. It is located in Namibia, and has never been moved. 1930s Mickey Mouse Club. This massive 1,900 pound bomb that was discovered in central Quang Tri province, Vietnam. It measured 1.3 meters long, 0.4 meters in diameter. It was then relocated and defused. It was found in a garden just 1 meter underground and 100 meters from the tracks of the National Railroad.